Welcome everybody to Morning Cocktail. All right, let's try that again. Welcome everybody to Morning Cocktail. The Super Bowl is the Rams versus the Bengals. Who saw that coming? And I just want to say real quick before we go into how the Saints blasted Eli Apple on social media. I don't ever want to hear again about I don't want to make the playoffs. I don't think we'll go very far. If we can't win a Super Bowl, I don't care about the playoffs. I'd rather get a good draft pick. The 49ers were the 7th seed, last team to get in. They go to the NFC Championship. They lose by 3. They should have won that game if a defensive back could catch a football. All right. So the way I look at that, get in by any means necessary. They almost went to the Super Bowl with Jimmy Garoppolo for the 2nd time. All right. So I don't care who your quarterback is. With this defense the Saints had this year, they could have gone far in the playoffs. They also could have lost their first game. Not trying to pretend otherwise, but you get in, you have a chance, and I think that was true. Look, neither one seed is in the Super Bowl. The Rams weren't a 1 seed. Neither was Cincinnati. But congratulations to those teams. Obviously, very happy for Joe Burrow. Rooting for him, of course. I'm rooting for Jamar Chase. I'm rooting for Trey Hendrickson. I'm rooting for Von Bell, who had a huge pick in that game. Anyway, it was a great weekend again. Great weekend for the NFL. 2 terrific games, and at least in the Bengals case, a very unlikely outcome. I thought an incredible comeback, but certainly an ending that I did not expect. I did not expect Patrick Mahomes to throw a pick in overtime and lose that game. After he won the coin toss, I have to admit I thought that was it. So, Chris, good morning. Luke, good morning. Thanks for being on. Jerry, I know I can always count on you. He says rotten apple. PX Saber, what's going on? Pam says who dat and who day. Her allegiances are clear. Jerry says he's glad the 49ers lost. They didn't deserve to be there anyways. Agreed. And it's still the Rams' fault for not letting the Saints in the playoffs. Yes, I think we're all, as Saints fans, collectively rooting for the Bengals. And then Damian, good morning. Thanks for being on. So look, smash that like button, subscribe, visit our website, saintshappyhour.com. Consider becoming a patron. And I'm very excited about our big show tonight. We'll be talking about the Saints head coaching search. We'll be talking about the Super Bowl and what transpired over the weekend. Lots and lots to get into. So looking forward to seeing you guys hopefully this evening as well. Ralph wants to say, why haven't the Saints thrown Sean Payton out of the building yet? I don't know what that's in reference to, but I'm assuming he's still in there. Maybe he's helping him with the coaching search. What's funny is I would actually appreciate Sean Payton's stamp of approval on the quarterback plan. So let's say the Saints don't sign a free agent and like Taysom and Ian Book are like the only guys. If they draft a guy, I would actually like for Sean Payton to watch film and give an evaluation to be like, yeah, you should totally draft that guy. I love him. He looks great. And I'm sure they will. Certainly if Dennis Allen is the guy, Mickey Loomis, and it would be almost like an advisor role. It would almost be like consulting with Sean Payton. But like, I think you've got to get his thoughts on quarterbacks. He's not going to be around to develop the guy, obviously. But if you're like down to 2 guys and you're like, I think I want this guy, but I like this guy too. Really, there's no harm, right, in asking. Joey, very good question. And gosh, a lot of our patrons on Discord were making fun of me about this, about mispronouncing his name. I've gone full Ralph when it comes to Bieniemy, Eric Bieniemy. I hope I said that right. I think I was saying Bieniemy. So I think that's where I was going wrong with that and going full Ralph. But anyway, Eric Bieniemy. Ralph says in Houston, the radio talk shows think the Bucks and Panthers will both go YOLO for Deshaun Watson. Would not surprise me at all. I kind of think they have to. I think the Panthers are more likely in the sense that Joey says it's be the enemy. Be the enemy. Be the enemy. Right. Got it. I think it's interesting. I think the Panthers are more likely in the sense that I think Matt Rule has a lot of control, and I think he's going to do whatever it takes to be competitive. We already saw that, like he went all in with Teddy, and then he went all in the very next year with Sam Darnold, and I think he's going to go in all in again with a new quarterback. And I don't think he's really going to care about the PR or public perception of Deshaun Watson because he's going to lose his job if he doesn't win. And I think Matt Rule is at a stage where he goes 0-4, he's getting fired like 4 games into the season. So he's got to win, and he's got to. It's not even like he has to be good at the end of the year. He needs to be good in the first quarter of the season to stay off the hot seat. So, yeah, I think it's Deshaun Watson or bust probably for a guy like that. So Ralph asked, Watson blocked a Carolina trade. Would he block it again? I think so. Yeah. Hopefully the Dolphins get him. But we'll see. Carolina has a lot less to offer than Miami does. So that's the silver lining. And certainly that's true. Look, the Eagles need a quarterback too. So we'll see where they go. There's going to be a lot of quarterback movement. When you look at Cousins is uncertain. I think Matt Ryan is uncertain in Atlanta. Garoppolo is gone. We know that from San Francisco. They're going to roll with Trey Lance. Carr is uncertain with the Raiders. We'll see what Josh McDaniels decides to do with Las Vegas and which quarterback he wants. I think Teddy Bridgewater is probably done in Denver, so he's going to be moving. There's going to be a ton of quarterback musical chairs. We know Tom Brady's out. We know that Roethlisberger's out. I think Jameis Winston could maybe go to Pittsburgh. That's a possible destination for him. Rodgers is in question. Russell Wilson is in question. So it'll be really interesting to see. Gosh, Jason, I didn't think about DA as head coach and Flores as defensive coordinator. That would be nuts. That'd be awesome to get Flores as a defensive coordinator. I kind of thought all along that Flores is going to get a head coaching job. Good morning, Dad. I really thought all along that I'd be stunned if Flores didn't get a head coaching job because no one really understands why he was fired from Miami to begin with. But if he's out there, yeah, absolutely. I would take him as a defensive coordinator. I wouldn't be surprised to see the Saints try to get Aaron Glenn back if they hire Dennis Allen. I don't think Aaron Glenn's getting the head coaching job, but I think if he were to get hired as a head coach, Dennis Allen I'm talking about, would they maybe try to give Aaron Glenn a promotion by making him defensive coordinator and associate head coach? And that would be enough to justify a move because it's not a lateral move technically since he's getting elevation and title. I don't know if that flies with NFL rules, but if it does, I could see the Saints going for that. Lone Wolf, good morning. Damian says he's hoping for Leftwich as the head coach. Yeah, we'll see. It's going to be really interesting. Joey, I think Streif stays. I think, look, they have, unless they fire anyone, I think they're staying with their existing staff for the most part. I don't see many changes. Those guys are all under contract. And that's another reason to keep Dennis Allen because you already have a staff in place and, it might be a good thing not to change too much. So we'll see. But yeah, who becomes the defensive coordinator if Dennis Allen is hired is a really interesting question. I think if you can pry Aaron Glenn away, if that's even possible, that would be amazing. I think Richard's getting a ton of looks, and I think him getting promoted is a no-brainer. And yeah, Flores would be incredible too. And they're already getting FaceTime with those guys. So I think that's a great thing. So we'll see how it goes. I could also see letting Pete Carmichael go and giving Byron Leftwich the offensive coordinator job if he doesn't get a head coaching job. So anyway, we'll see how it all plays out. I did want to mention real quick the tweet, which is the subject of today. The Saints Twitter account said that they went out of their way to congratulate Trey Hendrickson and Von Bell for both making the Super Bowl. No mention of Eli Apple. I thought that was hilarious. The Saints social media team on their game, as always, mocking Eli Apple, exacting revenge after he had said some really negative things about the Saints in New Orleans in the past week leading up to this game. I will say this about Eli Apple. We'll see how the day and the week goes by. We'll see how things transpire. But New Orleans people were getting after him. Saints Twitter was getting after him hardcore during the game, especially after he gave up that touchdown. He had some good moments in that game, but some pretty bad ones too. To Ralph's point, it was very petty, gloriously petty. But you know, it's just hilarious to see the Saints take a shot at Eli Apple. Eli Apple, to his credit, has been baking in the glow of making a Super Bowl, and he's been super positive. I looked at his social media, no shots at New Orleans, no responding to all the hate that he got. He's been keeping it super positive. So, like, I'll kudos for that. Like, if he could keep that going today and over the next 2 weeks leading up to the Super Bowl, I'll respect that because he fired his shots. And if he goes back on social media and continues to go back and forth with the New Orleans and Saints community, I just think that's so weak. Like, enjoy the fact that you're in a Super Bowl. Move on. We've moved on. You should move on too. So, but I thought it was hilarious of the Saints to take a shot at him, and I think we all chuckled at that one. So, good job, Saints social media staff. Last thing I'm going to address before I leave is Ryan Nielsen, Lone Wolf. You asked about that. Oh, sorry, PX Saber. I almost missed you. You said, will Michael Thomas ever play again? Gosh, I sure hope so. I hope that was a joke. I hope that was in jest. But yeah, I expect him to come back and have a great season, hopefully. We certainly need him. So, Lone Wolf, what about Ryan Nielsen? I certainly think he's a candidate. I think being an associate head coach, I don't know. I wonder if being a coordinator is viewed as a demotion for him at this point. Obviously, coordinators are the ones that get head coaching jobs that parlay that. So I think it would be smart of him, and maybe he gets like in a joint title kind of thing. But yeah, I mean, it's in the mix. I mean, we can't say that it's not going to happen, but I would just be a little bit surprised in the sense that I think they would either promote Richard to keep him. I think it'd be more important to keep him on the staff, knowing that Nielsen is solidified on the staff already anyway, right? So if you promote Richard, and that means you keep him, or if you get Aaron Glenn to come by giving him a sort of promotion, then I just think that bolsters your staff underneath Allen, especially defensively. And Ryan Nielsen's already on staff, so I don't think you have to feel too much pressure to promote him when he's already, assistant head coach. So that's my thought. That's just my thoughts on why he would not get it. But hey, smash that like button. It helps a lot with the YouTube algorithm. So if you could do that, I'd really appreciate it. Subscribe to our YouTube channel if you haven't already. Visit our website, saintshappyhour.com. Consider becoming a patron. Thank you guys so much. Hey, see you tonight for the big show. We're really looking forward to it. It's going to be a great one. And the off-season ones always tend to be a lot of fun. We always go off the rails. And it's actually my dry January ends at midnight, right? Today is, January 31st. I'll be honest that I've done a great job with dry January, but I did slip. So I did slip, a little bit, but not bad at all. I did a great job with it. So I don't know if we're going to go past midnight Eastern with the big show to celebrate my first drink in a month, technically. But I don't know. We'll see. Anyway, it'll be fun. Saints Super Bowl II. Thanks for joining. He said the Saints can't afford all three. Jameis, Marcus, and Armstead. Completely agree. They're going to have to pick at least two. So we'll see. Who dat? Thank you guys for joining.